Hi, the Mudbrooker here. This is going to be a multi-purpose video. I'm going to respond to a tag I got from Violently Graceful. I'm going to answer the questions that you asked me on my Q&A video. And I'm going to give a little update on the turtles. Violently Graceful had tagged me with the question if there is anything that I had done as a dare that I still had something left over from. I had to think about that one for a minute. I'd done a lot of stupid shit in my life, but most of it was entirely on my own hook and there was no dare involved. But I do have a round scar about the size of a dime on my left forearm. I was at a party once and I had just gotten there, so I was still fairly sober at the time. One of my buddies dared me to burn the eye out of a dollar bill laying on my forearm with a cigarette. It started off as a dare, quickly turned into a bet. And yes, I actually did it. Took a cigarette, burned the eye out of George Washington on a dollar bill, and made about $120 on the bets on the deal. So that's the dare that I still have something left from. Next up, I'm going to answer the questions from my Q&A video. First off, Wherein asks, if you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive in the history of the world, what would you order? Barbecued ribs. Next, Violently Graceful asks, what is your, bar none, absolutely favorite thing to eat? I'm fond of ginger. I love pickled ginger and crystallized ginger. But I think my favorite would have to be smoked oysters with vinegar on them. You open the can, dump off the oil, pour on a little vinegar. Next one is from California Sun. My question is, what made you want to start posting videos here on YouTube? And given the current climate here, are you less inclined to post a video for fear of stepping on someone's delicate toes? Well, I started making videos because it looked like it would be kind of fun. And mostly, though, the wife has heard my rants and raves for the last 20 years and she doesn't pay any attention anymore, so I figured I'd inflict myself on the rest of the world. As for the current climate, no, I really don't mind stepping on people's toes. In fact, I kind of like hearing them squeal. The English Atheist asks, your house is on fire, your family, and if any pets are already safe, but your personal treasured possessions are about to go up in smoke. You have a chance to take just one thing with you to safety. What will you take and why that one item? I have a small bell that came out of an old telephone, and I would take that with me for reasons I won't really get into in very much detail. But it involves sex, the wife, and Pavlovian responses. Bad Boy FLSTC asks, are you Tom Bodette? No, but I'll leave a light on for you anyway. The X2Com asks, have you ever tasted Kling with Brunost? No, I haven't. And since you have an interest in birds, what's the rarest bird you've ever seen? The rarest bird I've seen out here is a peregrine falcon. They live mostly in the bluff country down along the Mississippi River and in southwestern Wisconsin. But apparently they pass down through this way on their migration. I saw one about 5 years ago. He stuck around for a couple of days. But I'm pretty sure they're still an endangered species, so I'm not real likely to see one again. Deco Juicer asks, does Ragnar eat small deer to stay alive? No, he's too lazy to chase one down, otherwise he probably would. And finally, Irreverent Reverend asks, what's your musical preference and artist? I prefer classic rock and blues. I'd say my favorite artist is probably Robert Johnson. And finally, an update on the turtles. I looked up the incubation period for painted turtles, and it's a lot longer than I thought it was. It's 72 to 80 days before the eggs hatch. So I marked the nest where the turtle laid her eggs. And sometime between the 8th and 16th of August, I'll keep an eye on it and see if I can't get some pictures of baby turtles, because they're just unspeakably cute. I also promised I'd try and get some pictures of snapping turtles on their nests. Took me a bit of doing. Wandering around, I found quite a few nests, but I couldn't find any turtles on them. But I finally managed to find this girl here trundling along beside the road. There's nothing in the pictures to show the scale of her, but I would say the top of her shell is about 22 inches long. That's around 56 centimeters for those of you on the metric scale. They have quite a long neck too, but she's not really stretched out in any of these pictures. Their neck is usually 8-9 inches long. They have quite a long tail too, and anything that has a tail with plates on it like that, it's a pretty safe bet they've been wandering the air since the dinosaurs. Got a couple of pictures of her face here, and isn't she just cuter than hell?